All right, let's dive into an absolute classic, the complete story of Asterix the Gaul. We're going to follow our favorite indomitable heroes from their very first on-page clash with the Romans all the way to that famous celebratory feast. Let's get right into it. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start in the village, of course. Then we'll see a Roman spy try to sneak in, which leads to the Druid getting captured. After that, we get a wild rescue attempt, some hilarious magical sabotage, and we'll wrap it all up, as you always should, with a massive victory banquet. Okay, part one, the indomitable village. You know the line. It's iconic. It sets the stage for everything. So let's paint the picture here. It's 50 BC, and Julius Caesar's legions have rolled over all of Gaul. Everything. Well, almost everything. There's this one tiny little village in Armorica that just refuses to give in. And just look at how the Romans have them pinned. They're totally boxed in by these fortified camps: Totorum, Aquarium, Ladanum, and Compendium. They are a tiny island of defiance in a huge Roman ocean. So who are these rebels anyway? First up, you got our main man, Asterix. He's small, sure, but he's the brains of the whole operation. He's always with his best friend, Obelix, this huge, lovable guy who delivers giant stones for a living and just loves a good scrap. The real key to their power, though, is Getafix, the wise old village druid. And trying to keep them all in line is their chief, the proud, majestic, vital statistics. So what's their secret? How do they keep winning? It all comes down to a magic potion. Getafix brews this stuff up, and it gives anyone who drinks it temporary superhuman strength. That's the whole game changer. The only one who can't have any is poor Obelix. See, he fell in the cauldron when he was a baby, so the effects are permanent for him, which means he's permanently banned from getting any more. If you're having fun with this deep dive into a classic, now's a great time to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more, because their quiet life of hunting boars and punching Romans is about to get a whole lot more complicated. Which brings us to our next chapter, a spy in the ranks. Over at the local Roman camp, the centurion in charge, a guy named Crismus Bonus, has had it. He is sick and tired of losing, and he is determined to find out the secret behind the Gauls' incredible strength. So they cook up this sneaky little plan. First, they take this scrawny, nervous legionary Caligula Minus and dress him up like a Gaul. Then he basically pretends to be a prisoner so Asterix and Obelix will capture him and take him into the village. And it works. He gets inside, manages to sneak a taste of the potion, feels that power surge, and then makes a run for it, escaping back to camp to tell his boss everything. So now Crismus Bonus knows the secret is a potion. But that doesn't really help him if he doesn't have the recipe. And that's when the light bulb goes off. He doesn't need the potion itself. He needs the only man in the world who knows how to make it. Now picture it. Getafix is out in the forest, all alone, just doing his druid thing with his golden sickle, gathering mistletoe. It's totally quiet, just the sound of leaves rustling. And then that peace is just shattered. You hear the clank of Roman armor, the snap of twigs under their sandals, and a whole patrol just jumps him. And just like that, they've got their druid. And this quote is just perfect. It tells you everything you need to know about being a Roman soldier in these stories. Even when they're succeeding, they're just completely miserable. Our old pal Caligula Minus just nails that feeling of comedic despair. By all the gods, I should have never joined up. Back in the village, as you can imagine, everyone's starting to panic. No Getafix means no more magic potion. But Asterix, always the thinker, comes up with a plan that's so simple it's kind of insane. He's going to get himself captured on purpose to rescue Getafix from the inside. But there's a hilarious problem. Getting captured is surprisingly hard to do when you're super strong. Asterix chugs some potion, walks right up to the Roman camp, and just demolishes every single patrol they send his way. I mean, you can practically hear the biff and pow as Roman helmets go flying. He's trying to surrender, but he just keeps winning. And this all leads to one of the all-time great moments. After he's beaten everybody, Asterix is just standing there, hands on his hips, impatiently tapping his foot. He literally has to shout at the terrified Romans, "Well, come on, do something. I surrender? I can't hang about all day." It's just quintessential Asterix. Isn't this story great? We bring classics like this to life every single week. So if you're enjoying it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what's coming up next. So Asterix is finally captured, and he's reunited with Getafix inside the Roman camp. Crismus Bonus thinks he's got them right where he wants them. What he doesn't get, though, is that this is no longer a battle of fists. It's now a battle of wits. And, well, he's completely outgunned.
So Getafix puts his master plan into motion. He pretends to give in, agreeing to make the magic potion. But, he says, there's just one tiny little ingredient he needs: strawberries. Of course, they're completely out of season, so you've got the whole Roman garrison scrambling to find them while Getafix and Asterix just sit back and wait. Once the strawberries finally show up, Getafix gets to brewing, just not the potion they were expecting. A Roman drinks the potion, gets ready to feel super strong, and nothing happens. At first. But then, his beard starts growing, and growing, and growing. Before you know it, the whole camp has tried the potion, and it's absolute chaos. We're talking hair and beards sprouting out of control, growing way faster than anyone can possibly cut them. The entire camp has turned into this manic, hairy, open-air barbershop. The air is probably thick with the smell of cheap Roman shaving cream, just the sound of frantic snipping everywhere. And right at this moment of peak absurdity, a chariot rolls up. And who is it? Just a special visitor doing a surprise inspection, Julius Caesar himself.
And Caesar is, to put it mildly, not impressed. He sees his legendary legions looking like a bunch of walking haystacks. He's furious, he's embarrassed, and he demands that Crismus Bonus fix this mess immediately. And who has the only solution? Our two prisoners. The tables have officially turned.
So Getafix says he can whip up an antidote, but in exchange, he and Asterix get to go free. Caesar has no choice but to agree. Getafix brews the cure, and here's the final brilliant twist. The hair growth potion was always going to wear off on its own. The so-called antidote, it's just a simple vegetable soup. They treated soup for their freedom. Absolutely legendary. And so our heroes return home victorious. The village, of course, throws their traditional victory banquet to celebrate. You can just smell the roasting wild boar, and thankfully, the local bard Cacophonix is tied to a tree as usual, so the only sounds are laughter and good cheer.
And that is the full story of Asterix the Gaul. If you loved running through this classic adventure with us, please make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. You really won't want to miss the story we dive into next time. And it all leaves us with that big central question that drives the whole series, right? They've won the day, they're safe for now, but when you really think about it, with the entire might of the Roman Empire camped on their doorstep, how long can one little village truly hold out?